You are listening to All Burgundy and Gold, everything with the urban sports scene on Fox Sports Radio 96.9 FM and 1340 AM. Hopewell, Virginia. Wole, Ray, and Mo are your hosts. What's good, fellas? And it's like Turkey Day week. It's right around the corner. Turkey. For Africans like Mo and myself, some jollof rice.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Aren't you guys boosted? Like, this is the one time of the year, Ray, you know me for years. This is the one time I like to eat. Well, I like to eat in life, but this is the one I like to eat for real. Like, this is a sporting event for me. It's like going to buffets and stuff, bro. All in your house.
Yeah, we already had a discussion about what you're preparing in the kitchen. So looking forward to see how your dishes come out, and hopefully you'll enjoy your meal. I'm not tripping too hard off this holiday. I mean, I love family, love food. You can never go wrong with that. Football, of course, the 3 F's as they call it. Mm-hmm. But, you know, I'm all about the history and what this really means. I'm on that tip these days.
Oh, wow, okay.
But I'm not going to go there. Happy Thanksgiving to you, brothers.
I don't even know I don't even know where to go from there, bro.
Hey, Ray said he woke. He said he woke.
Oh man,
don't do that. I'm not part of that. I'm not part of that movement.
He's not a part of that movement. You definitely not. I know Ray ain't thoroughly part of that movement.
Thanksgiving is a dope holiday.
Mo, how about yourself, my man? Like,
Thanksgiving's awesome, man. Thanksgiving's the opportunity to be around your family. You get to see some extended family that you ain't seen in a while.
So true.
I mean, share some memories over good food and just family, man. Just people that the ones you love the most. I mean, you can't beat that. You know what I mean? It's time to turn up. It's time to do all this other stuff, but that family time,
yeah.
It's unlike anything else.
You're right, man. It's all about family. So it's always a blessing to have everybody together. And just once you just it's kind of when you observe it and internally you just look at, your cousins, your aunts, your parents or whatever, like uncles or whatever, you kind of look in silence, but in amazement, and also you feel the blessing,
Right.
What I mean? So definitely,
start to think back to when we were last together and the best times together, and now we older, everybody got their own little life, their own routine. We kind of miss each other, here and there, and the time since last time I see you gets a little longer and longer, you know what I mean? So it's a good holiday to kick off holiday season for the majority of the world, and just keep emphasizing that narrative of family first.
Definitely. Hey, subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, and Google Podcasts. Just search All Burgundy and Gold, everything with the urban sports scene. Also tweet us at Urban Sports Scene and hit us up on our Urban Sports Scene Facebook page. It's time for the pregame. Here's what we have on tap. We'll talk about the Washington football team defeating the Carolina Panthers 27-21 and their upcoming game against Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. All right, goes down like this. Sunday, the Washington football team took down Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers. They won the game 27-21 as I referenced. Fellas, what were your thoughts on the team's victory? And we'll start with you, Mo.
My thoughts on the game were like, it was a well-played game. It was a well-coached game, well-sought-out game. We've seen a lot of different things in this game. Most importantly to me, Taylor Heineke's attempts were down to 22. Even last week, they were down to about 30-something from the week prior, where it was in the 40s, and he was averaging about 40 for a little while. So lets us know that there was a time of possession type of deal. Antonio Gibson had 19 carries. All 3 running backs touched the ball. Terry was making plays. Defense was causing some havoc out there. So hey, I seen a good performance, and see if this is something that the Washington football team can build up.
My brother Mo looks fatigued tonight, and we know that Mo was a Giants fan. Are you experiencing Giants fatigue? Jason Garrett is gone. You need to share anything to get off your chest? Your hat looking a little rough in the front. I'm just saying, like, are you okay tonight, Mo? Is Mo okay? I'm just making sure.
Mo's been dope. Mo's been pretty chill for a while.
Mo was like defense. Yeah. The impressive coaches. You know what I'm saying? I need the
Mo's been chill though.
I don't like this Mo. I like the Mo that's clapping. I like the Mo that be doing the Matumbo wag and the Camera. Come on, Mo. Washington won 2 in a row, baby. They trying to make a run. Let's get hype. Let's get some money, man.
Man, listen, man. It's a long season to go.
There we go. There you go.
Cowboys twice, right? We got a
Philly twice.
We got a lot of divisional games that are going to decide the outcome of this team. So I'm just looking forward to seeing how it all unfolds. But from last show to this show, Wole definitely hit the nail on the head. Definitely hit the nail on the head when we were talking about this from last week. So I'd be interested to see if they can build off of this, especially since that was the first game with no Chase and no Montez.
Yeah.
So
completely out with it. Ray, your thoughts on the victory?
Well, you already know I've had the blessing of already talking about this game, and as I always say, I don't want to repeat myself, but Terry McLaurin just continues to climb that ladder of elite receivers in this league. And Wole, you and I had a discussion. We can bring Mo on that real quick. Definitely. 2019 draft class. Is Terry the top receiver for that draft class? Mo, what do you think?
Woo!
You got Deebo Samuel, AJ Brown. Okay. I think
Hollywood. I have a different way of ranking guys, but I would say he's the most consistent out of the whole.
I like that.
I think DK has the biggest ceiling.
Yeah, he does have the biggest ceiling.
AJ Brown is a freak of nature. He's a freak of nature, at 6'1", 235, the way he moves. Deebo Samuel, I do think is a good football player, but I do think he's a product of that system and the multiple ways that they use him and a lot of the misdirection plays that they run. But Terry McLaurin, I'll take it back to when I look at it, football camps, and you have to go one-on-one against the best DB at the camp. If you're talking about that, Terry McLaurin is the best out of that whole
Stop watching that Lakers game. Well, listen. Terry McLaurin has
Let me change the channel because you're right.
He's had the most difficult quarterback situation out of all the guys that we mentioned that are top receivers from that class. But anyway, Mo, you hit it on the head in terms of consistency. That's why I mentioned Terry McLaurin when I think about this Panthers game. 5 receptions, 103 yards, and a touchdown. No, I guess, legitimate threat by NFL standards standing on the opposite side of him. No matter who's lining up next to him, no matter who's lining up at quarterback, he just continues to produce against the number 2 defense in the league. And that was what was most impressive is how this offense made big plays, converting 3rd downs, 3rd and longs, 4th downs. Taylor Heinicke making plays with his legs. And then red zone efficiency and execution that goes to Scott Turner, making some adjustments. The running game is now it's featured in this offense, and you have to like that moving forward against a Carolina team that is so good on defense that I didn't think it could happen in Carolina, and it did. Shout out to the Washington football team. Offense, the O-line played well in spite of some injuries that banged up, but they've been consistent as well. They've been one consistent unit all season, but not the most on the team. So shout out again to Washington, Scott Turner. We're not fans of him necessarily on this show, but you got to give credit when he's had a few good games, and I hope it will continue, especially somebody who wants to see this team succeed so we can continue to have some great shows and great content moving forward.
Yeah, we all know when the team wins, the show is lit. People watch the content even more when their team is winning. But to me, looking at this game, and we talk about scary Terry, just to do it with the quarterback play, that this team is getting to be this consistent is what makes him great at a young age. You know what I mean? I feel like you have wide receivers that always complain about, man, it's the quarterback that's hold me down or hold me back. He actually has a reason to state this, but he still continues to play football at a high level at this young age. But even the game against Carolina, they did a lot of things though, which I give them credit for. They didn't really line him up often against Gilmore. They would rotate him off against Dante Jackson, and he took advantage of it. And Dante Jackson couldn't do nothing with him. Gilmore didn't follow him, so what they did was, all right, if you're not going to follow him, then we're going to isolate him on Dante Jackson. And let's see if Dante Jackson can check him one-on-one. Gilmore is one of the best cornerbacks in football. And they didn't. So Washington was like, you know what? Let's make it easy. All right, we're going to put DeAndre Carter. We're going to put Sims on his side. If you think Dante Jackson can contain Scary, go for it. And they lost it. You know what I mean? So they did some things smart. I give Turner credit. They found a mismatch. And they went to it. They didn't go to it often, which I do like, because to Mo's point, by not going to it often, you create this balance. Now Taylor Heineke's throwing the ball 22 times. He's efficient. He's managing the football game. Like it's easy to get enamored when you see a mismatch and you do have a weapon like Scary Terry and you see that Carolina's playing him this particular way, but it may not be your strength in your offense. And I felt like over the last couple of weeks after the bye, they're creating an identity, right? You're running Gibson, you're running Patterson, you're running McKissick, you're running 3 backs, and you're utilizing that and you're winning the time of possession. That kind of reminds me of his father, right? That's what Coach North Turner did with the Dallas Cowboys, ran the football, won the time of possession, made big plays, all play action, even when he had the big playmaker in Michael Irvin. So some things that I felt like, regardless of why he's doing it, I probably felt that Ron probably talked to him after, but at the bye and was like, okay, we got to change the way we play football. All right, our identity, my identity, what I win football games like is in Carolina, where I was physical.
He said he talked to him during the bye week.
He talked to him during the bye week. He was, hey, homie. He was like, homie. This is what he said. This is Ron probably said, homie, hey, homie. Your pops, he was cool with me. You know what I'm saying? That was the homie. But you know what? Like you messing up the church's money right now. Like you messing up the church's money. We don't want that. So let's just play football the way I like to play football. Be a little physical, like beat people into submission. And on Sundays, people gonna feel us. Like that's how you play football, right? That's how Ron has played football. That's how Ron has won. That's how Ron has won. He doesn't win playing finesse football. That's what Scott Turner was trying to play, finesse football, throwing Taylor Heineke 50 times, like to most point, 40, 50 times. You run your 3 running backs. How many running backs did Ron run in Carolina the first time? You know what I mean? So he ran multiple running backs. D'Angelo Williams, Stewart, and even the big boy, and even the other big boy. Yeah. So he ran. He ran most of the time. So they're running that I felt like Ron is now really implementing what he's done in Carolina. And I feel like that's helped him out after the bye week.
So Ron is also known as a player's coach, but he became more of a disciplinarian this Sunday, took it back to ESU. Remember ESU, Joe Kane, Heisman campaign, Darnell Jefferson, star freshman running back, had some fumbling issues. He had to take the ball with him to the classroom, had to hold it everywhere he went. Antonio Gibson, he got benched for fumbling in that first quarter on an important drive. That was in the red zone, if I'm not mistaken, where he fumbled that ball, and Coach Ron punished him for it, but it seemed like it motivated and helped him. What were your thoughts after that key fumble and how Gibson responded?
I love his response. I mean, maybe they need to bench him every game. Maybe they need to bench him every game. I was watching the game and I was like, oh, he's playing inspired.
Yes.
He's playing like somebody that had a conversation. They had a conversation once he got to the sideline. We know
inspired.
That. Yeah, inspired. He was inspired football. Whenever we see Gibson falling forward, that's a good sign.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people forget that he's over 220 pounds. You know what I mean? Like, he's a big kid. Mm-hmm. Like he can move. So like the same issue I had with the guy up the turnpike. You are 230 pounds. You can play at 230 pounds sometimes. Everything doesn't have to be the highlight, Mm-hmm. So seeing him play behind his pads, seeing him play aggressive, seeing him finish runs was definitely a highlight of the weekend. And I think something clicked. Hopefully this is the start of something for him.
I mean, the only play that he kind of messed up was at the end of the game where he just went out of bounds. I was like, bro, you acting like you can't get right now.
He did. Right. He did make that mistake. He gave Cam a chance.
Yeah, she gave him a chance. Definitely did. But to Mo's point, man, he ran like, yo, he this close to be out the league. It was like, hey, he ran like he's worried about his check. That's how he ran. I'm not saying that was true, but that's just how he ran. Like there was definitely some desire and some desperateness in the way he was running. Like it wasn't that was his best game. And forget yardage and whatnot. I'm talking about the way that man ran, that he was definitely like motivated. And that was the best game I've ever seen Gibson run. Like if you told me I'm looking at a top tier running back, like that was a top tier running back. The way he ran in that game was a top tier running back. I don't care about the Cowboys game that people talk about things like last year. that was open holes and everything was open. Like this game, he was downhill. He was finishing runs. He wasn't trying to make the flashy run. He was getting the yards. And if you was in his way, he was trying to go through you. And he was decisive. He was decisive. So I'm gonna give Coach Rivera credit for opening his eyes and saying, you know, and letting him know, you know what, this ain't given to you, bro. This ain't given to you. Like you gotta earn this.
I felt like he treated Antonio Gibson that way because the fumbling issues are a consistent problem. Yeah. However, if he held everybody across the board accountable, such as the linebacking core and the DBs, specifically Landon, also Bostic, I think he would get more results like this.
But you fumbling. This is something I agree with you saying, but this is different though. Fumbling is a thing of you just being lazy. Like the way he's fumbling consistently he's like you said it, like he's been so loose with the football. You're right. That's paying attention to details, right? I'm not arguing that. But the fumbling is an issue where the way he's fumbling, he's so loose. Oh, it's lazy. He's so loose. He's trying to make a big play. Like that's too loose. He'll hold the ball like this. He's too loose. He's way too loose. Like you see situations where a dude just gets beat. Like sometimes
I guess certain situations.
Yeah, sometimes certain people like Landon in coverage. You mentioned Landon. Him against name me like Kyle Pitts. Use Kyle Pitts as an example. If you put Landon on Kyle Pitts, that's your fault. That's something he can't control.
Well,
he can't control that. Landon, but Gibson can control not being loose with the football. He chooses to do that. That's a choice. That is his choice. And when he loses the football, you got to pay for it. So that I give him total credit for that. He should have been. My issue is that he should have been did this crap. Like
Hold up, though. I hear what you're saying because in terms of scheme and where guys are supposed to be defensively, that's what typically happens. But we heard a lot to start the season as this is not what we went over in practice. Guys need to make sure that they are where we told them to be during the week. So I don't know. It seemed like he picked on them a bit. But I get it because again, they've been glaring the fumble issue. So I was just asking, do you feel like the accountability is across the board? You're telling me it's situational.
I think his has been extreme. They should have been did this with him. Put it this way.
Okay.
They should have did this a while ago because it's been. And there's been, and Mo's seen it, there's been plays where he hasn't fumbled when you're like, dude, you way too loose. Like, there'll be plays when he's running the football and you'd be like, you should have fumbled. Like, all they had to do was tap that thing and you would have fumbled. Like, so this need to be done. I'm sure they've seen it and my thing even on the back end, I'm sure they've seen plays on tape where they've told him, yo, you got to wrap this thing up. Like, even when you don't fumble, you got to wrap this up. Like, this is an issue.
Wole showing love to the coach, Coach Rivera. Anyway, you listen to All Burgundy and Gold, everything with the urban sports scene. And Coach Rivera got a big win against his former team. Based on my observation, I didn't see that he was very elated about winning in Carolina. He seemed like it was business as usual. But what did you guys think about his body language? And how do you think he reacted to getting his first win against his former team?
Mo, you going to tackle this first, bro?
I think he handled it like a pro. He handled it like a pro. I think, you know what I mean? Like, you know, he said his hellos to everybody before the game. That the game went on. Him and Cam Newton had an exchange before at half.
That looked so phony, but go ahead.
Right? I mean, Cam Newton went out his way to go over there, though.
I ain't say Cam didn't. I ain't say Cam was phony. I said his joint looked real.
I'm about to say Cam looked like,
I ain't say Cam.
Now you might be overthinking it.
That joint looked real phony.
Well, how it look phony?
He was like little, and then we walked away. It was a little quick joint. I thought it was real. I thought it was real fun. It's all good. I thought it was good for TV, man. It was really good for TV.
Nah, I don't.
It wasn't even necessary though because it was at the half. They didn't have to
when just imagine Mo when you get that first coaching job, you coaching Duval, y'all get that win against Flowers. How you gonna feel? Are you gonna react like Ron or are you gonna be jubilant?
I'm gonna react like Ron. I mean, like for me, it's just another W. It's just another W.
I'm a bad coach when it comes to winning.
Especially trying to get this team. If I'm trying to get this team to buy in to finishing the rest of this year, at a certain place. Like I gotta let them know that this is just business as usual. I'm not even that excited about this. We're gonna take this momentum and we're gonna get into the next one.
So Josh McDaniels, remember, he's the head coach at Denver. He defeats Belichick and and the Patriots, and he goes to the corner of the stadium and he just started fist pumping like Tiger Woods fist pumping. Now, at that time, they were undefeated. The season went downhill from there. So I think Ron took the right approach. Now, as a rah-rah guy myself, I'm an emotional dude. You know, I'll probably be a little more hype. Kind of like Dan Quinn was with the Cowboys after they stomped Atlanta. But I like what Ron is doing. At least he's somewhat staying consistent. But see, he's always good, Ron Rivera, when Washington's winning. But when they losing, he don't know what to say or how to act. He like, I don't know. He should have made the playoffs. He just struggles. So it's good to see him actually turning this thing around, kind of like all Ron Rivera teams do, to play better down the stretch each season.
He wanted you could tell he wanted this game so bad because he was going for like some wild stuff. Like dude was going for, we got him, but he was going for
that's
some wild stuff.
That's what they call him, riverboat.
Man, he wasn't he haven't been riverboating it for the last couple, like early in the season.
This season? No.
He riverboat that game. He riverboated everything, man. He riverboated everything. He was riverboat wrong for real. They kept saying
it
we only call him riverboat wrong for a reason. And I'm like, this man hasn't been
Mark
riverboat
Sanchez, baby.
This whole week.
Mark Sanchez.
Yeah, I was like, he hasn't been riverboat Ron like most of this season. He see Cam Newton, he's like, oh, let me riverboat Ron. Let me go ahead and go for XYZ. They got it, but I was like, it was like forfeit, whatever. And then it went to, and they shortened that joint down. And then I was like, oh, you can punt it. He got it. But I was like, damn, bro, okay, you want this. Like, I don't want to hear none of that behind the scenes. Like, before the game, he was like, it's just an ordinary game. It's a normal game. It wasn't. Because you coached that thing up like you wanted that game. He benched, like, to your point, right? He benched Gibson in the first half. Gibson been fumbling. He's been fumbling, bro. He's been fumbling all year. This game, okay, I'm going to bench you.
You need each game. It's every game.
I get you, but right. I'm just saying, like, how come he didn't bench him like that?
That's what I'm saying. It's a lot of people that should have been benched.
I'm telling you, because he wanted this game bad. Like, this is the game he wanted. He chose it. If he coached, he should coach this. Like, every game he coached, he should coach with the same energy throughout. Everybody should be Carolina to this dude. Real talk. Everybody should be Carolina to this dude. Like the Seattle Seahawks Russell Wilson should be Cam Newton to this dude. Like he should see number one.
No, he actually he shouldn't be, because you gamble too hard against the wrong team. You're gonna give certain teams short fields, and that's not gonna be a good look. So
Carolina better Seattle, but that's all good. That's a whole different argument. But I'm saying he should treat him like
I'm talking about in general, dude. I'm just saying. No, right now, Carolina, listen, that's debatable, but here's the thing. What would you rather him do? Take chances and win?
I just want to play smart football. I just want to play smart football, whatever that is, dude. Every situation is different. Because you get it doesn't mean it's smart football. You dig what I'm saying?
Okay, for example, when last season at New York, Kyle Allen, they go for two. Hold on. But I'm saying though, a lot of fans were like, we okay with that. We like him going bigger.
I wasn't.
So that's a situation where he didn't get it, but people were like, I'm cool with that decision because that's
a lot of people didn't like it either. That went left to right. It is
probably your followers. I already know what it is.
I said a lot of people. I said my followers.
I'm just joking with you.
Look, I am not a rapper. I am not a rapper. I don't have followers. Okay, I'm not that type of person.
hey Mo, it's on you. But you know the way you present tonight, I don't know if you even ready. You good?
Man, I'm
chilling. Little man chilling, man.
No, I'm just saying. Mo's name is on the script. That's all I'm saying. It's on him now.
Oh, is it on him? Oh, it is on you, bro.
Big game Monday night, man. Big game Monday night versus the slumping Seattle Seahawks. What are the keys for Washington to extend this 3-game winning streak? What do we think has to happen for them to win this, extend this streak?
Ray, it's on you. I think.
Listen, I'm gonna keep preaching what I've been preaching since week one, since the preseason on this show. You run the ball, you sustain drives, you control the time of possession, you win the time of possession actually, and you'll always have a chance. You always have an opportunity to win football games. And Scott Turner these past 2 weeks has seemed to understand that, and it's paid dividends because it's helped Taylor Heineke, as Mo reiterated this week, that he hasn't had as much pressure on him. So I think that's the formula for this football team, is to be a run-heavy offense, a run-first offense. And this defense, I hope that they can sustain the level of play that they've been playing at, because this is the defense we've been expecting all season. And if you've had that, Taylor Heineke wouldn't have had as much pressure on him, and his offense wouldn't have had as much pressure to score. So I'm thinking, though, that Seattle's going to be desperate. So you got to match that energy. And these past 2 wins, Washington has had a team. They've had the look of a team who's been desperate, and that me against the world mentality. And what do we have to lose thought process? I love that. Continue that. Prime time at home. Don't overthink it, baby.
Yeah, I just think that Ron Rivera should just listen to the podcast, just listen to us. Because I've been preaching the same thing throughout the whole season. Just like if your defense is struggling, stop throwing the ball 50 times. Just run the football, keep them off the football field. Everything goes hand in hand in any sport. Defense, if you have a two set sport where it's offense and defense, it all goes hand in hand. For football, you keep the defense off the football field, and your offense can sustain long drives. Your defense will be better. You limit the opportunity for your defense to be dominated. You're not going to score every time. On offense, it's hard for an offense to score every time they touch the football. So you limit their possessions, you'll be all right. You'll be more inclined to be in the game. So I'm glad they've decided to run the football. I'm glad they decided to understand that Taylor Heinicke isn't the guy that should throw the ball 40 to 50 times in a football game. So you're limited to that. So now you're not putting it on him because it never should have been on him. And now you're playing good, succinct football. You now have a kicker who's making kicks. So you're winning what? It's a three level sport. Your special teams are improved, your defense is improved, and your offense is improved. So now you're playing a total game in terms of a football team. You're playing a total game, which is going to be hard for any football team to beat you if you're playing a total game. And if one or two things lack, then you're going to be a porous football team. So within these 2 games, because I don't want anybody to think this team has turned the corner. Within these 2 games, this team has played good, complementary football on 3 phases of the game.
Hey, you guys said it all. They need to run the football, control the time of possession. You know that Seattle's a big play offense. At least that's what they want to do.
Yeah.
Get a mismatch of a receiver, DK on the field, and let him use his athletic ability. Tyler Lockett is
That's the one. I think that's the one people like to talk about DK a lot, but that's the one. That's the one. That's the one you got to worry about. That's the one.
Surgical, man. The way that he plays the intermediate, he runs those intermediate
that's the
routes,
one.
Those crossing routes, man. And then after the catch, he goes back to like his old Kansas State days and punt returner. Just that dude is a dog. He is a dog. You know, they got some bad news this week that Chris Carson's out for the season. So I think they turned it over to
Collins.
DJ Dallas, and Alex Collins by committee, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we know historically Seattle's not a team. Well, not historically, but as of late, Seattle doesn't run the ball as much as they should.
Yeah, I know. We know why about that.
Russell is still coming off a finger injury, so it's if they can keep Seattle off the field, or if they can keep Seattle off the field and limit their time on the field, I think they have a really good chance of winning this game.
Do you know why I feel bad for Seattle?
Do
you know why I feel bad? Because the notion is let Russell cook, right? No knock, because Russell hasn't improved as a quarterback and throwing the football.
Mm-hmm.
But the issue with Seattle is, and this is not a Seattle show, but the issue with Seattle is when are they normally good? When are they normally good? Like when they do what? When they do what? They run, exactly. But you want Russell to cook. So now Pete Carroll, you're adding a coach who's running a particular style or scheme to help the way he wins football games. You want him to do something different. That's the problem with him and Pete Carroll, like Russell and Pete Carroll.
I mean,
that's the issue they have. That's the issue they have.
You can't pay Russell all that money and
not have him throw the football. Totally agree.
There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way. They drafted the man in the 4th round. They wasn't expecting him to be this.
Yeah.
And then he became this.
Yeah.
Right, like he became a lesser version of himself with the Legion of Boom and Beast Mode, and then as they started to get off the team, he started to carry this team to the tune of 30, 40 touchdowns per year.
Yeah,
high 30s.
Yeah,
and 40, and started getting that MVP Russell type deal going.
Yeah,
with the money and the new style of play, even though they were still running the ball for a little while.
Yeah,
like. He's shown and proved that they should let him cook. But Football is complementary, like you just said. It's a complementary. The scale can never tip too far on one side, especially in two phases of the game, right? Mm-hmm. If you're not gonna get anything on special teams, your offense can't be responsible to carry the burden. Mm-hmm. The defense started deteriorating, and they started throwing the ball more. And because they weren't running, they couldn't control the clock the way they wanted to, and they couldn't stop a nosebleed. Yep. So Russell would have to orchestrate perfect drives over and over again, and nobody can hold that up. Nobody can keep that up. So there's some philosophical things that they need to fix over there in Seattle to get this team back to where they used to be. Yeah. But the team that's playing right now, the defense is atrocious. Yes. And Russell is hurt, and they don't have to start running back. So this is a really, really. This is a game that Washington can win and get out of there with another W and help to improve their standing in the rankings. Yeah, it's a winnable game. No, I don't say P word. Don't say that, dude.
We're gonna start talking about it. It's coming.
No, that's the. No,
you got Vegas after this. If you get to 500, you right in the thick of it.
Look, I'm gonna tell you when I text my homie this. I'm
not picking Washington.
Yeah, I know you're not. It's okay because it is what it is. But this is what I told my homie this. Like, nice no knock on you, bro. I told him like I'm not talking no playoff, no P word or anything. They win these next two games and they beat the Cowboys. We can have a discussion. They would have to win 3 in a row. They're going
to split with the Cowboys. The thing is, I think you need to sweep Philly.
You got to sweep the Cowboys. You can't split. You can't split the Cowboys. They got to sweep them.
Why?
Because the Cowboys
to get a wild card spot.
I mean, it's just for momentum.
Talking about the division.
That's all I care about in life. That's all I care about.
You tripping. You don't want to talk the P word, but you think
I'm not talking about division. No, to me it goes hand in hand. Think about it though, Ray. Look, there's going to be 3 teams. It's seemingly 3 teams coming out of the NFC West. Mm-hmm. So I'm saying there's 2 teams coming out the North, Minnesota and.
You think the 49ers making the playoffs?
They're 5-5, right? You talking about 49ers?
You said 3 teams out the West. I mean the Cardinals and Rams are locked.
They 5-5, right? The Niners are 5-5, right?
That's what I mean.
It's all. It's all the work. I mean, they gonna beat each other. Real talk, though, brother. Real talk. The West
they beat each other.
They're gonna beat each other up, though. That's gonna make it difficult. But the West is gonna have 3 teams. The North. I think gonna have the West. 2. It's gonna be.
The West is gonna have 3.
I don't know, 3. Man. I don't know. It's gonna be hard. They beating up each other, though, bro. They gonna beat each other. Like they going. Like,
not saying it can't happen, but you said
the Niners got. There's only one team coming out of our division. One team. There's only one team coming out of our division. The Eagles got a good chance too, though. Everybody's sleeping on the Eagles. There's only one team coming out of our division. The Eagles got a decent chance. They compete against everybody. 3 from the NFC West. The 2 from the North. Likely. I think it's fair to say that's likely to happen.
Who? The Vikings and the Packers, right?
You think the Vikings are guaranteed with Kirk Cousins as a quarterback, though? Like Kirk Cousins is playing excellent football. He chokes, he wins, he chokes, he wins, he chokes. He does like every little thing. Touchdowns to 2 interceptions to him right now.
No, Wole. That defense has let him down. He's done his job.
Has he?
Okay. I can't agree with you. It's the defense and the field goal kickers.
Look, you talk about. I can agree. Look, bro, I can agree. I agree with you. See?
No.
I'm rational. I can agree with you.
I'll take it. Kenny Porter. You threw the towel in too early on that one, but it's okay.
Threw the towel in.
You got it.
There we go.
The kicking game and defense have let Kirk down this season. But anyway, Mo was saying
I had my fantasy team. He had some terrible games.
2 from the North, 3 from the West, 2 from the North, and then 1 from
the East.
The East. Okay.
And there's gonna be 1 out of the South.
But here's the thing. I don't know, again, if the 49ers or the Vikings are shoo-ins.
I'm not going to say the Niners are givens.
So you can say that with those 2 teams being on like the bubble, in my opinion, you can put Washington in that discussion.
No, why are we talking about this? Why are we doing this?
At 500. Only reason I'm saying that, I told you Wole last week. The Falcons, when they got to 500 right before
everybody was talking about.
Skyfall. No, and not everybody was talking about. They were in the last playoffs.
No, they are last spot, yeah.
They were, not anymore, but they were at the time. So why can't Washington win these next 2 games and be in the last playoff spot? I
think there's 2 teams that 5-5. I want to say there are 2 teams that's 5-5.
But they're right behind them. That's my point. Yeah. So it's not like it's out the realm of possibility.
Yeah, I mean, I think Washington fans need to worry about winning
this game.
Of course, one game at a time.
I feel like they could talk. They should be able. We would talk legitimate playoffs, like legitimate playoffs. You win the next 3 games, then you can legitimately talk about playoffs. That's my belief. Like you win.
You won them Cowboys, boy. You won them Cowboys.
You got to win that game.
If you get Seattle. But
you got to win that game.
That December 12th game is a home game, correct?
It's a home game, yeah. It's a home game. You got to get that game. You got to get, like, if you want to believe, if you really want to, if you're a Washington fan, you want to believe.
Yes, sir.
You got to beat this game because, like, everyone said, like, the Seattle team is vulnerable. If you looked in the beginning of the season, you would have been like, yo, this is a hard game for Washington to win. Like, Washington ain't winning this game.
Washington is the 11th seed right now.
But no, you're talking about the record, not the seeding. That's you're talking about like the tiebreakers. You're talking. Look at the record. What's the record? They're 1 game behind, right?
One game behind what?
For the last seed, in terms of wins and losses, they're 1 game behind, right?
1 game.
Yes, that's all it is. It's not about much, you land. It's like where the season has to play out. But all I'm saying is, like, I'm not talking about. I don't care. I'm just talking about if you're a Washington fan, your thing is take advantage of games you need to. Like the Seattle game, like we've all talked about, like they're vulnerable. Beginning of the season, folks had this as an L. We had it as an L. Like Seattle's tough. This is a vulnerable Seattle team. You got the Raiders because of what's transpired.
Vulnerable
in Vegas.
Too.
They're vulnerable too.
Yes.
These are 2 games that you can get that can get you to where you need to be at. The Cowboys game is the game. That's the game to me. If you want to really talk it, like you really want to talk it, because I'm all about beating a good team. You want to talk it, that's the game you got to win. You win that, then the whole locker room is, I'm talking about the players. The whole vibe in the locker room is different. Like now you really, really believe. I think the Tampa game helped you out. So for belief, for them, help them out in terms of belief. But if you beat Dallas, because now you're thinking, now your mindset is different. Your mindset is different.
Also, if that scenario plays out, three wins from now, we're talking again Seattle, Vegas, Dallas. That and depending on what happens with Dallas is a little banged up right now.
Yeah.
That's what the discussion about the division may come into play because you got Philly twice after that, you got Dallas again, you got New York again. Mm-hmm. You might be in the discussion to win the NFC East. Right now, I'm not ready to declare that.
I'm not declaring nothing. I'm just saying. I'm saying.
I'm saying for myself. If they win these 3-game stretch, yes, yeah. I'm going there. Yeah, I'm going there, bro.
Yeah, I'll go there with you. I ain't gonna lie. Like my homie was like, man,
right now, I'm thinking playoffs right now.
Oh, I'm not even thinking about that.
You confident with Riverboat in prime time? I'm not quite.
Oh, I am. I think he's undefeated. He's been, like I said, he's got a good record on prime time.
Undefeated in prime time. With the squad. Yes, 3-0, baby. Let's go. Riverboat Ron.
Look, this was going on when I was at the Giants game. Folks told me all day, like he undefeated in prime time. That's all folks were telling me. So
you gotta go with the 40 fans.
Look, man, look. That's the same folks would say when Kurt was losing all them games, it was limited games. Like Kurt's never won in prime time. It wasn't, then it just escalated to what it was. So and they were true, they were right.
Stop going back to Kirk, man.
Hey,
this is a new regime right here.
It's facts though, bro. Prime time, that dude never shows out. Never. To this day. To this day. Like he had the Cowboys when they had a backup quarterback on prime time this year and lost to the Cowboys with what was his name? Cook, whoever the backup quarterback was.
Cooper Rush.
Cooper Rush.
Oh, listen, again. We ain't talking about Kirk.
He ain't scored all. To this day.
To
this day. He's the same dude. You know what I'm saying? Pressure broke.
He was who we thought he was, baby. Yes. Denny Green.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. But anyway, dope show. Hey, subscribe to our podcast.
You didn't pick who's going to win yet.
Oh, you want to do that? Oh, man.
I got Seattle, even though I'm leaving.
Look,
now.
Who you want?
Making me rethink it. Shoot.
Who you want to go, Mo? Who you going with?
I'm going Seattle 24-7. 27-24.
See, you got to learn from me.
We got a similar score.
Mo, you got to learn from last week. I gave you the exact score. You did not. And I told you Washington was going to win last week, right? All right. So you got to rock with me. You got to rock with me. Oh yeah, look. I'm a lone wolf. That's what the NFL Network be doing. I don't house. I'm not about that life. So
FAN.
I will go with Washington because they're home. Because Riverboat Ron is undefeated. Prime time of Washington.
Home field advantage.
Home field advantage. Oh, that sucks. I know, right? They beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, right? I'm going with Washington 23. A harder defense too, for real. Tampa Bay's harder defense. 23. Washington 23. Seattle 17.
And Seattle's going to stop Washington to the tune of 23 points.
I mean, they're gonna stop themselves because limited. Washington gonna have they're gonna win time of possession. 23 is good. Time possession, bro.
Yeah,
I can't wait for next week's show. Oh, you know what? I'm not even gonna be here next week. You know what?
Time possession, Mo.
December.
Like you can't if you hold the ball, you don't have to score with someone. So
y'all do the show. Yeah, we'll
Monday. Look, Monday night's gonna be a live show. You doing a live show Monday night?
I can't even do it Monday night. But listen,
hey Mo, you doing a live show Monday night?
The post game.
Post game. I'm saying.
Yeah, I can't even make it. But here's the thing: if I could, and what plays out. Hey. You know what? Like Roman, I will go ahead and bow to the throne, brother.
Oh, for me? Oh, thanks to that, dog. Bow to the throne, Roman. That's right, dog. Head of the table type joint. That's how I like respect. I'm talking about, dude. Head of the table type stuff. Respect that. Now I can close out, right, Mo? I'm gonna close out now. Hey, subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, and Google Podcasts. Search all Burgundy and go Errrything with the Urban Sports Scene. Also tweet us at Urban Sports Scene and hit us up on our Urban Sports Scene Facebook page. Appreciate you all for listening. Always appreciate the homies. You've been listening to all Burgundy and Gold Errrything with the Urban Sports Scene. On Fox Sports Radio, 96.9 FM and 1340 AM. Hopewell, Virginia for ages. You dig? Deuces. A mega lead us out, Big Obi. Swag.